Starfleet intelligence has decoded the list of Riemann targets that you recovered from the vault. I need you to investigate one of these locations and determine why Obasek and his forces planned an attack there. The Vahar system is still technically part of the Romulan Star Empire, but Ferengi speculators have moved in, and the Empress has done nothing to remove them. The Ferengi have reopened the mines and are now doing business with anyone with Latinum. You will go to the Vahar system under the pretense of negotiating a possible trade agreement with the Federation. Talk to Madron, the operator of the mines. Convince him to allow you access. Find out all you can. Once we know why Obasek and the Riemanns are targeting these mines, then we will be able to decide how to proceed.
Right away, Admiral. I'm on it.
I have new missions.
Captain, the Riemanns were targeting a magnesite mine in this area, but the list we recovered didn't have its exact coordinates. I know we're in the right area, but all the moons in the system are inhabited and our sensors are being affected by the magnesite. We'll need to contact each moon to try to determine which one of the Riemanns we're actually targeting.
You've stuck your nose in our business for the last time, Starfleet. All ships, attack! Attack!
Target shields have failed.
Damn Orions, why'd they have to attack us right away? We barely opened comms at all.
This moon is private property. No solicitors, beggars, or Starfleet allowed.
They're not very hospitable around here, are they? This is a dangerous area, and it's only gotten worse since the destruction of Romulus. Might be difficult to get someone to trust us.
Hello, my good friends. I'm so happy to meet you. Perhaps you are in the market for some high-quality magnesite? We have the finest ore in the quadrant. On behalf of the miners and residents here, I'm more than happy to welcome you to our home. Please transport to the surface. Unfortunately, the large amount of extremely pure magnesite ore in the core of our little world will interfere with your sensors. For safety reasons, I must insist that you use the transporter signal enhancers that I have installed at my own expense. Also, I know you Starfleet types are so fond of your away teams, but could you please restrict the number of crew you bring down to the surface? My people here aren't used to strangers, and you wouldn't want to disrupt their work, would you?
We're ready to beam down at your command, Captain. Okay, Ian, let's go down to the planet, to the moon. Caroline, you're with me.
Did you need something?
What are you doing here?
It's a long story. After the destruction of Romulus, I joined a group of colonists looking for a new place to settle. We chose to form a new agrarian community on Viranot, a pastoral world on the edge of Romulan space. Our colony was attacked and destroyed. I managed to evade the attackers and get off-world with a small group of people. My luck ran out here, and I've been stuck ever since.
What kind of work do you do?
I'm a biochemist by trade. I specialize in hemocyanin, a division of hematology, working with copper-based blood. On Viranot, I handled a lot of issues related to food compatibility and local biochemistry. These days, I mostly handle minor medical issues and nutritional deficiencies for the people living here. I can't afford passage off of this moon. I've managed to stay out of debt, but I don't know how long that will last.
Have you heard of anything strange locally?
This whole mining facility is nothing but strange. That Ferengi, Madron, rides everyone hard to make a profit. But just when it looks like things will get too bad, he turns around and does something generous. Folks have occasionally disappeared, and not by leaving on a ship. People here for weeks or months will suddenly vanish. People talk about seeing strange things, or being kept out of parts of the mine by the guards. There's something deeper in those mines. I'm sure of it.
Lachi, maybe. What is going on here? Please, have you seen my brother? Maybe I can help? How long has he been missing?
I last saw him 2 days ago. Madron assigned both of us to work in the upper levels of the mine. Toshin's drill bit broke, and he needed a new one. I know I should have gone with him. It's not safe to be in the mine alone. Now he's gone.
Why isn't it safe to be in the mine?
There's a group of people down there who treat the mine like it's their own. I don't know why Madron tolerates them, but they make life miserable for the rest of us. They steal and terrorize the weak. I once saw them dragging a woman to the lower levels, and I never saw her again. She wasn't the only one. Many people have disappeared. I thought if my brother and I kept our heads down, that we would be safe, but maybe they took him. Murderers. Murderers. If they killed my brother, I'll kill them all.
Is there anything else I should know?
If you go into the mine, watch for the silver spheres. There are creatures in the dark. Devils. They're made of stone. Nothing can hurt them, and their touch burns. I have seen them moving around in the tunnels. Anywhere you see the silver spheres, the monsters are not far away.
Tell me about your life here.
My life is unimportant. It's my brother. I can't find him.
We'll try and help you. Stay strong. Jalan true, stranger. Have you always lived here?
Oh, my family and I have been here all our lives. It's a hard life, but it's all I know. My mother used to tell me tales of the home world. She'd talk about the plazas in Rateg or vacations she spent with her father on the shores of the Apnic Sea. And she would tell me about my father, who gave up his place in the military evacuation ship so she could live. He never knew he had a child. She would tell me these stories, and later, when she thought I was asleep, she would cry.
Tell me about Madron.
He charges us too much and pays too little. He's like everyone else in this world, out for himself. But he doesn't let us starve. And if a child needs medicine, they get it. Many here grumble and hate him, but I cannot. If I were in his position and his life was in my hands, can I say that I would act any differently than he does?
What can you tell me about this area?
Stay in the settlement. Don't go down into the mine. And whatever you do, don't leave this area. I do not wish you harm, stranger. And there are many dangers here. There is a group. They rule the mine. And they are dangerous. Even Madron fears them. If you avoid them, they will ignore you. And defy them, and they will turn on you. Last week, a good man died because he would not give them what they wanted. He was not the first. There are many monsters on this moon that you would be wise to avoid. Outside of the settlement, there are packs of wild animals. If you take a warrigal from its mother when it's very young, it can be tamed. If you wait too long, they are savage. The packs of wild warrigal roam the edges of our settlement. Often they prowl the refuse piles, looking for scraps of food. A pack of warrigal can kill even a strong man. And you must be careful when you are in their territory. And they are not the only monsters here. The miners tell stories about creatures made of stone who can burn you to cinders. I have not seen one of these creatures myself, but I know that many people who enter the mine do not leave it.
Have you seen anyone suspicious around here?
You're the first outsider I've seen in a long time. There's no reason for anyone to want to come here.
Thank you for your help. We don't see strangers here very often. What do you want? Tell me about your life here.
What can I say? We exist. I mine because there's nothing but rocks on this forsaken planet. If I'm lucky, I dig enough ore to make my quota and Madron pays me. If he pays me, I can eat and have a warm place to sleep. If we don't make our quotas, there's nothing. Even if I do have latinum, most of it goes to Madron to pay my debts, and the rest he takes in exchange for the supplies he imports. I would leave, but I owe too much to Madron to ever earn enough to buy my passage off this place. Besides, where would I go?
Do you get help from the Empire?
The Empire? What Empire? Our Empire turned to dust with the loss of the homeworld. If you're rich or in the military, then maybe there's something. I hear the people in Seela's shining city and the Raytor system live quite well, as long as they obey her commands. For the rest of us, there's nothing but dust and regret.
The Federation has sent aid. We want to help all Romulans.
I have heard this, but I have not seen that it is true. Are you going to go to every Romulan on every world and hand them bread? Because that is the only way you can help all of us. The strong take from the weak. Seela and her ships are strong. The Tal Shiar is strong. Your aid goes to fill their bellies and heal their wounds, Starfleet, not mine.
On behalf of everyone on this forsaken rock, let me be the first to welcome you to Hathara. As you can see, we don't have time for pleasantries. And I'm not sharing my Tranya stash with you. So, why don't we skip the chit-chat and get down to business?
Of course. I've heard you're an excellent source of magnesite. What makes your mine better than the others in the sector?
Unfortunately, I cannot call this mine my own. I'm just a middleman. Out of the goodness of my heart, I help the residents here pass on the products of their hard work to commercial entities such as yourself. The minuscule transaction fee and trade tariff I keep to offset my expenses is figured into the unit cost of the ore. My operation has become one of the best in the area because of the high demand for my services from both sides. I provide the best mining equipment and supplies in the sector to the miners, while my customers get competitive pricing on the ore they need.
Do you have any more information about the mines themselves?
I don't pay much attention to that. Miners have empty carts and they return with ones filled with ore. If you're that interested, you could visit the mines themselves, but I don't recommend it. It's such a dirty, disagreeable business. And I'm convinced that breathing ore dust for too long is terrible for you. The miners who live near my quarters used to keep me up night after night with their dreadful coughing. I had to install soundproofing just to get some sleep. Are you sure you wouldn't rather look at the ore I have for sale?
Thanks, but I'd like to talk to the miners first.
Really? Suit yourself. Just remember, I have an exclusive contract to export magnesite ore from this moon. If you try to cut me out of your deals, you'll regret it.
I just have a few questions before we conduct any business. I'll be back when I'm done. Madron won't answer any questions about why the Remans might be targeting this place for fear of scaring us away from a possible sale. Perhaps if we ask the locals about what's going on here, they'll be able to provide more information. Alright, let's question the miners.
I'm sorry, I really can't talk at the moment. I have to finish a survey of the area so the miners can start work on a new mine shaft.
Is there anything I can do to help?
As much as I'd appreciate someone else to lug around this heavy equipment, it's all very delicate, and I'd only trust a capable scientist to help me.
If I encounter someone who can help, I'll send them your way.
Enemy targets on sensor.
I don't have time to talk to you right now. I need to repair this drill so I can make a living.
Is there anything I can do to help?
Not unless you know an engineer who'd be willing to take a few moments out of their busy schedule to help me fix this hunk of junk.
If I encounter anyone that can help, I'll send them your way.
I can't talk to you. I can't talk to anyone. I'm on the run. And if those thugs see me talking to you, then you'll be in danger too.
Is there anything I can do to help?
I need someone who's not afraid of a fight. There's a group here that's beating and stealing from us. Madron doesn't do anything to stop it. For all I know, he's getting a cut of everything they take. They're making life miserable for all of us. Would you be willing to help?
Count me in.
There's a group of bullies that have been stealing from us. If we don't give them what they want, they beat us. I had a friend. All he was trying to do here was feed his family. Be a good man. He had an old bottle of ale. He said it was from the homeworld. One of those thugs wanted it. Now, my friend is dead. I'm too weak to stop them, I know that. And now I have my friend's children to feed in addition to my own. But if someone were to teach them a lesson, this camp would be a better place for all of us.
Let's get on it. Let's get rid of these bullies.
Enemy targets on center. Personal shield losing power. Enemy targets on sensors. Personal shield losing power.
Thank you. Those guys have been giving everyone a lot of trouble. These thugs are part of a larger group that operates deep inside the magnesite mine. They control the lower levels, and no one who goes down there uninvited ever comes back. I don't know what's so important down there that's worth hurting us to protect it. Maybe if you went down there, you could get some answers.
We need to get inside that mine.
You want to go in the mine? Are you really interested in buying any magnesite? Or are you just here to cause trouble? Because if it's the latter, I know someplace you can start a little ruckus. There's a gang that controls the bottom levels of the mine. They won't even let me in there. Previously, I allowed them to keep their little kingdom in exchange for information. But lately, they've been more trouble than they're worth. And the intel they're feeding me is useless. Honestly, who doesn't know about the Breen invasion of the fairy space?
I'll take that information to heart. Alright guys, let's enter the mine.
What do you want?
I'd like to enter this area.
This area is restricted. Only people my friends and I like may enter. and I don't like you!
Maybe if you got to know me a little bit better, you'd learn to like me.
You don't belong here. I'm done talking with you. Leave now!
It's been a pleasure.
Consequences.
It's been a pleasure wasting my time with you.
Personal shield losing power. Personal shield losing power. Flanking damage detected. Personal shield losing power.
Captain, there are a series of pressure plates located in this area that are low tech, but the Romulan may have to resort to outdated security measures because of the interference from the magnesite veins in this cavern. The problem is that the magnesite is making our tricorders almost useless. If there's anything on this moon that we Remans would want to eliminate badly enough to use Teleron weapons, it has to be here. We're going to have to figure out how to use the pressure plates to reveal whatever the Romulans are trying to hide. I suspect that we need to activate 2 of them to open the door.
I give the orders here, Commander. You are out of line.
With all due respect, sir, there is a difference between protecting the Empire from her enemies and provoking
There
them.
is much here you do not understand, Janik. The Remans need to know their place. As do you. I will not forget your insubordination, Commander. The Tal Shiar has no place for officers who cannot follow orders. I'll be in the command center.
Colonel, they were civilians. Their blood is on our hands.
Get used to it. There will be more. Speaking of which, why don't you clean out the brig before you become a resident there?
Observed from captured holofeed in Earth space dock. Captain Sulu has applied for transfer to the front lines of Klingon conflict. Admiral Quinn under medical care for heart condition. Intercepted Starfleet medical records indicate that the condition is fully treatable and not a suitable target for exploitation. 7th Fleet entered neutral zone as part of a routine series of exercises. Franklin Drake heading extended operations in the Eta Eridani. Starfleet Command considering new tactics in conflicts with Thruway. Starfleet intelligence concerned the rise in war profiteering by independent Ferengi and Optarians. Observed from Olofeed on Kronos. Chancellor John Polk facing increasing challenges from members of the High Council loyal to House of Martok. Alliances between House of John Polk and House of Duras is weak. Situation is highly exploitable. Recommend we seek agents on Kronos. Many members of the discommoded House of Torg have been absorbed into House of Duras. KDF leadership endangered by High Council's mandate to work more closely with Klingon intelligence. Valkyrie forces in region massing under new leadership. Melanie Dian seen entering home of Drex, son of Martok. Gorn push for representative on High Council rejected. Observed from captured audio recording in the Delta Quadrant. Resistance is futile. Observed from Olofeed on Cardassia Prime. The Tapa Council petitions Federation to fund Lakarian City infrastructure project. 47 injured in bombing at University of Kulat. True claims responsibility for attack. The Tapa Council passes bill allowing Cardassian government to seize assets of persons convicted of terrorist activity. Councillor Mariam Okanda resigns. Starfleet sending advisors to Cardassia Prime to advise government on security issues. Councillor Evala introduces resolution calling for Cardassia to apply for Federation membership. Bill stalls in committee. Ministry of Trade extends agreement with Ferengi to market Cardassian-made transport vessels and phaserbacks.
Enemy targets on sensors.
Observed from Olofeed from Radar 3. Increased power use in Royal Palace indicates that lower levels may be in use. Senator Shemak is accepting bribes in exchange for slowing progress through trade agreements. Erosion representatives meet with Sela. Riemann representatives removed from Senate chamber. Opposition leader Titan assassinated. 3 reunification proponents arrested. Agents of Sela meet with True leaders near Badlands. Observed from live intelligence in Republic space. Archaeological activity indicates that a recent excavation has revealed an unexpected high-value find. Attempts to capture colonists in putative Morihan meeting with resistance from mixed forces. Federation Starbase 234 engaging in defensive training exercises. Long-range social destabilization of a Camarian culture underway. Tolian activity correlated with temporal anomalies near Azure Nebula. Cloaked assets monitoring construction of listening posts in Juret system.
I almost feel sorry for you, but I have my own neck to worry about. I'll be joining you in there soon enough. If Hakeeb has his way, we all will. Enough! I surrender. I value my life more than the Tal Shiar's secrets. I'll tell you anything you want to know. But first, you must tell me why you are here and what you want.
Why does the Riemann Resistance want to destroy this base?
The Remans know about this base? Impossible! Only the leadership of the Tal Shiar know we're here. The Empress herself couldn't find us. I don't believe you, but it makes no difference. This is not a military installation. We listen and record here. Nothing more. There are many targets that those Riemann scum would find much more tempting.
Enough of these lies.
Are you sure you want to end things like this?
Yes.
Personal shield losing power. Flanking damage detected.
How did you find this place? What else do you know? No matter. You won't be revealing anything to your superiors. It's disappointing I cannot give you a proper interrogation. But I have much to do and little time. The self-destruct sequence has begun. This base will be your tomb.
My mine! What have you done to my mine?
There was an infestation of Tal Shiar spies in there. I just fumigated.
Tal Shiar? I'm shocked. I had no idea. I certainly wouldn't have sent you down there if you... Say, you didn't happen to find anything valuable down there, did you? Because if you did, remember, I have an exclusive contract.
Stop with the lies, Madron. I know you knew who and what was down there.
And what's it to you? This is a rough area of the Quadrant, you know, and they're good neighbors. If you're not easily embarrassed. Their cameras and listening devices are everywhere. I haven't had a single problem with Orions or Herodians since they moved in. And it doesn't hurt that I acquired the odd bit of information here and there. I'm a businessman, and information is big business.
Do you know anything about what they recently discovered?
Unfortunately, no. I'll admit, I was trying to find out, but their systems were locked down tight. I'm sure whatever it was had to be big news. Everyone was on edge. Janek and Hakiv were barely speaking, and I once heard Hakiv mumbling something about orders. Someone's been pulling his strings, but I don't know who. I do know the Tal Shiar takes security very seriously. If you manage to pull any files from their system, you can expect them to be heavily encoded. Trust me on that. I speak from experience. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go talk 100 Romulans into digging a new mine to replace the one you destroyed. My profit margin for this month is ruined.
Treat those miners well, Madron, or I'll be back. Madron doesn't know much, Captain, or at least he's not willing to part with that information he knows without being paid. I don't think he can help us anymore. We should return to the mine and try a look at the ship and try a look at decrypting the files we recovered from the Tal Shiar. I'm sure that they will be more useful than anything Madron has to say. Alright, beam us up. The Tal Shiar is planning an attack on Riemann base. We need to get this information to Admiral Tenev at Starbase at 39 Sierra immediately.
The Tal Shiar records you recovered showed that Hakiv and his forces have been targeting the Riemanns for months. Obasek and his followers have been driven from their homes, had their ships destroyed, and their loved ones killed or imprisoned. Some might say that Obasek's campaign against the Tal Shiar is just. However, Obasek was planning on using Thaleron weapons in the Bahar system, which would have killed hundreds of innocent civilians, as well as the Tal Shiar cell there. This is the problem with revenge. Violence and fury only create more pain and suffering.
Quite true, Commander. Very well said.
I have new missions for you.
Congratulations, Commander.
That's it for now. Thanks for joining. As always, live long and prosper. See you soon, guys.